So we are joined today with the first team manager Danny Chapman after yesterday's incredible win, league title. So first of all, I'll just start off. Congratulations, league champions. How does that sound?
It sounds good, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It's exciting. It's relief. It's being proud. All them emotions rolled into one, and I think that everyone, including myself, is still sort of coming round to it. Yeah.
yeah. And throughout the whole season, it's been a really long journey. Loads of twists and turns along the whole way, but you got there in the end. That must take some character from all of you and all the boys.
It does. I've always said to win any league at any level, whether that's the league on a Sunday morning over the park, or up to the Premier League, to win any league is a huge achievement, and it takes a special group of people to be able to achieve it in lots of different factors. But character is obviously a massive one, and I think the last sort of 6 games, the players have really shown character that they have. Yeah,
Yeah. And Hackney Wick, they took it all the way. It came down to the very last game in the end, and they must deserve a lot of credit.
yeah. Listen, they've been brilliant as well all season. I think I'm sure they're a little bit sick. Obviously, losing a league is bad enough, but to lose it on goal difference must be a little bit sore. But yeah, they've been fantastic and push us. I think everyone expected them to have a slip up somewhere. And I'm talking about earlier on in the season, but they didn't. They just kept plugging away and kept churning out results, and it's actually been a great title race with them. Yeah.
Absolutely. And this is, I'm thinking it's your first ever league title, the first in 36 years for the club. Have you ever coached a side like this with the togetherness, grit, determination, the love for the club? Have you ever coached a side quite like it?
I've had some very good sides over the years, 15 years now. Especially obviously the 2000 and the 2009. Sorry, not 2009, 2016 promotion squad was a hell of a squad. But yeah, there's something about this squad that's just got that little something about it. I think the biggest word is togetherness. You look what we've come through over the past couple of years, and that's the majority of the squad has been there that whole 2 years. And yeah, there's something about a resilience which is hard to find. But they're all good people as well as good players, and that's another big factor in being able to win things, is that you have to have the right types of people as well as having the right abilities. So yeah, they're a special group, and yeah, they'll remain with me for a long time. Yeah.
Fantastic. And there's been some absolute crackers this season in the league. Can you give us one maybe that's your favourite overall?
Ooh, good question. There's been obviously some great games at home, especially with the crowds that we get, and the noise it's made. I'm gonna say Hutton away. We won 1-0. James Folks got sent off wrongly really early in the first half, and we showed, going back to what we were just talking about, a resilience that night, um, where we was absolutely superb, and we went and managed to nick the game towards the end and won 1-0. So yeah, that game sticks out for me because that was, when you look at a season, you're always, even though we've been winning games, you're always looking for a particular game at a certain point where you think, okay, we've now got a real chance. And that night showed me that we had the right group of players to be able to achieve what we wanted to achieve.
Absolutely, and that one actually, I was talking to some of our supporters and Jack Zielinski, who know I was talking to him about it before,
Mm.
because obviously he scored the goal as well. What a game it was, and because a lot of supporters have been talking recently as well about like how many sort of points we've dropped from different positions throughout the season, but I was sort of saying like the amount of times we could have been beaten, but we came on and ended up winning some games, and that was a massive one for me, highlighted there.
Yeah, look,
Um,
football lasts 90 minutes. So whether you win the game in the first minute or whether it takes you to the 90th minute to win it is irrelevant, because the game lasts for 90 minutes. That's the length of the game. So we never whatever it takes to win. That's what you do. And yeah, on that particular night, as I say, just to score right at the end after playing with 10 men for such a long period of time. Yeah, it just felt really good.
Yeah, and you all have seen yourself. A lot has been said about the club this season and how, well, I can quote, we've thrown money around and bought the league, which is a bit confusing as the majority of the squad has remained together from last season as well, which is mostly unchanged. What would you have to say about that?
Well, I mean, look, people always have an opinion. People love to hate. People love to be envious. Actually, and for me, envy is one of the worst traits that you can possibly have. But I suppose the biggest thing about it is, all these people, and this is not just at our level. This happens at all levels. Other clubs will talk about people throwing money at it. So what they're saying is that if they didn't have it to spend, they wouldn't spend it. It's just haters, mate. I don't really get involved in it. I'm not interested about what other people think about our football club or anything like that. We know what we do. We know what we pay and how we go about paying it. And the rest of the people, they're irrelevant to that. So, yeah, I try not to sort of get involved with listening to people about buying leagues and things because, as I say, if they had it, they would spend money as well. It's just one of them things in football, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that kind of leads me into my next question. There's been quite a lot of setbacks after the last 2 years. I mean, the big ones being the resignation and then finding out we couldn't go up last season, some real tough times. How good does it feel to have overcome these setbacks and finally look like we're back on track?
Yeah, I mean, I think what it does is it shows what club that we have. The people that are involved in it, the amount of work that's gone into us getting back to where we are and delivering the day that it did yesterday. Um, as you say, like obviously having to resign from the league was the toughest decision that the clubs have had to make. You then get relegated two divisions when their own rules state it should have realistically been one. Last year, them not telling us, I don't know if it was the FA or the league, but never not telling us until January that we couldn't be promoted again. So we've had a lot of kicks. But as I say, everyone within the football club had the same focus, the same aim and goals, and that's what got us to where it did get us to yesterday. And to have the supporters that have, the last 2 years have been unreal. And they've played a massive part in us achieving what we achieved yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, and on to yesterday. Win against St Margarets, a local side, local rivals for the last couple of years. Did you feel that initially that would be a tough game? And what were your thoughts on how the game played out overall?
Well, look, you can't get away from the fact that St Margaret's really are where they are in the league. I think the biggest thing yesterday was making sure that we approached it in the right way because all I kept hearing after Saturday was it was like yesterday was just a foregone conclusion, and that was never going to be the case. So I thought we started the first 20 minutes. I thought we started really, really well. Was it 3-3? I think after that sort of period, and then I think when it went to 3, we sort of sat off a little bit for the rest of the half, and we had to have words at half time to make sure that I never felt the game was ever going to be in doubt, but I didn't want us to finish off with any sort of complacency or let's just get it over with. I wanted us to finish the season as strong as we possibly could, and I felt, yeah, overall we dictated the game from start to finish. 6-1 could have easily have been 10-12. So I was really really pleased with yesterday's performance. Yeah.
Fantastic. And continuing on with yesterday, I did hear that the celebrations went right up into the night. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Maybe. Yeah, listen, again, it was brilliant. We was there till the early hours of this morning. Um, some really funny incidents. Some that I'll keep I'll keep to myself. But yeah, I think at midnight last night, Tom Gilliman and Jack Cousins are arguing about who's the quickest and racing across the pitch in the pitch black. It was just yeah, it was just one of them sort of nights. But it was it was thoroughly funny, and everyone had a really good night.
Sounds really good. Well, Fred Aguimang, he ends the season as the top scorer in the league for us.
Mm.
Uh, but there's been such a range of players who have been scoring goals for us this season. What does that tell you about your side this season?
Well, look, I mean, Fred's done fantastic, since he came in. As you say, is it 19, 20? I think he's got now.
Yeah, I think it was 19.
But when you got Fred, and we've been unlucky this year. We've sent with strikers, but we've also been lucky in regards to, obviously, we lost Gavin for quite a big period of time, and we lost Cav Clark, who's unfortunately, bless him, he's never going to be able to play football again. And obviously Jack Zelensky doing his ACL and going to be out for 9 months. But when you look, so that's the bad side of it, and then you look, we've managed to bring in Fred, Gerard Small, but also you got people like Denzel and Terrell, Jack Haley that have all chipped in with goals, and that comes down, I think, to them as a player, obviously, but the way that we like to try and play puts them into areas, into opportunities that they can score goals. So yeah, they've done really well with the amount of goals that they've scored as well.
Yeah, it's interesting to say as well, actually, because one of our top scorers throughout the last two seasons has been James Folks from the back, and
Mm.
he's got 9 this season. I mean, you have to
Yeah.
say what a campaign for him once again.
Yeah, well, look, we do a lot of work on set pieces, from an attacking perspective and a defensive perspective, and it's an area that we've been really strong in this season. And folks, is a great header of the ball. And then you got people like Tom Gilliman, Ali Barker that can put the ball where you ask it to go more times, successfully than not. And you know that James Folks he's gonna get there and get on the end of them. So yeah, to score 9 goals as a centre back has been brilliant. And as a captain, he's led by example.
Yeah, and you mentioned it earlier actually about the support. How important do you feel it's been this season? How impressed, particularly, have you been by the growth in numbers, especially when we compare it to some years back when we had a fraction of what we're getting at the moment?
Yeah, I mean, look, it comes with. Oh, sorry, I lost you a minute. It
Oh, no,
comes
it's
it
all right.
comes with it comes with success. When you're successful, when you're winning games, everybody wants to be a part of it, and that's just normal life. But it's not just been this season for me. As I say, it's been the last 2 years since what happened to us, and being put into step six. I think we was all expecting that our attendances would dwindle, and we'd lose some. But as you say, the numbers, the way they've grown, have just been incredible. And you look at yesterday, 1,200 and something was it? I think.
Yeah, 12 4
Um,
7.
yeah, but the supporters, you've always got your hardcore supporters, the ones that have been there, well, look, as long as me and probably longer than I've been there. But I think the biggest thing about yesterday was seeing the amount of kids that was there, because they're the future. Um, and if we can get them coming back on a more regular basis with mum, with dad, and we can grow that side of it, that would be brilliant. But I say from the hardcore supporters, they have been absolutely, top draw. You couldn't have asked home and away as well. I'm not just talking about home here. We're talking about, I'm sure that a lot of the clubs in our league, a lot of the haters in our league, love it when we bring 150 plus supporters to their grounds on a Saturday. So, as I said earlier, we couldn't have done it without them. They're a massive, massive part of this football club, and long may it continue.
Absolutely, and we'll make sure that message gets right out to them all, and hopefully we'll see some more. On to 2 weeks from now, very, very big job ahead. A chance to win a league double, which is something that hasn't been done within the club for decades. How would
Mm.
this rank amongst your proudest moments in your whole career if we go on to win it?
Yeah, it would be up there, probably at the top. I was fortunate enough, as a player to be involved in the professional game, and then I think I played at every league in non-league level from the conference down to step four, and been fortunate enough to be promoted on different occasions in that time. I had the promotion as a manager back in 2016 into step three, but yeah, to I think to leave to to create a history in anything is a massive thing for an individual. So it'd be great. I'd love it, but it's not about me. It's about the football club and it's about the supporters. And as a manager, when you start out, you have aspirations that you want to progress and up the pyramid as high as you can. But I think you get to a point where it stops being about you so much. And for me, the biggest thing about yesterday was standing back and watching everyone celebrate and smile on people's faces. That gave me my biggest joy out of everything. So yeah, if we can go there on the 5th of May, and we can create that same feeling and put more smiles on people's faces, then that's what will make me more happy than anything else.
Very well said. And looking into next season, it's looking likely that we're going to be either in the Essex Senior League or the Spartan South Midlands League. I know it's quite early on, but what would you say your aims thinking about next year will be?
Well, I mean, look, I've got to sit down with obviously the owner and the chairman, and we've got to have that conversation. So I'm not going to say we want to go and win the league again, because there's factors that we have to look at. But I think I always want to win every football match. That's basically how I can say it for you. And obviously, realistically, that's not going to happen. But I think you have to set a standard like that. That yeah, we want to go and win every game. And if we can win more than we lose, then who knows where that might take us. But I think what you just said, we need to wait and see what league we're in. Essex Senior League would obviously be so much better for us in regards to teams that we play, local derbies, being able to recruit players. Whereas obviously the Spartan League, you're travelling to places like Milton Keynes and Luton and Bedfordshire. So the recruiting becomes more tricky, more difficult. And obviously the travelling is then comes into play. So yeah, there's loads of factors, but yeah, we obviously if it's possible and we can go to look to get promoted again, then that's exactly what we'll do.
Yeah, and finally, last year you would have seen there was an All Area League FA Vase final, and if we do end up there, is that something that maybe our eyes are set on?
Yes, 100%. I think for any of us to be able to be involved in a game at Wembley Stadium is just it's something that just don't really happen to many people. So yeah, we have to look at it. That was something that we was really disappointed with this season, that we didn't progress further. I mean, we got beat away by Hadley 3-1 and should have been 4-0 up in the first 20 minutes. So it was, yeah, and to get knocked out, I can't remember the exact round, but I know it was sort of early-ish on. So yeah, we want to try and have a go in the FA Vars as well. Obviously, you need some luck to go with it, but yeah, again, it will depend on a lot of factors, but it's something that we're talking about. Yeah,
Sounds good. Clearly, big things to come for us. Congratulations once again. What a season it's been, and hopefully we can add a double to that, a nice League Cup trophy. Good luck with all the preparations for that.
lovely, mate. Thank you, and I'll speak to you.